Worldwide Soul, and welcome to 5 Things Wrong with the WWE. Number 5, storylines. At the moment, the storylines are really weak. I really liked what they did with Randy Orton. That was a really good storyline. Ambrose and Seth, that was a really good build-up with a bad payoff. But generally, anything outside of the main event, the main storyline they use is, I'm having a match. Boo, 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 boo. What? Someone I don't like's theme music is playing? And then they get rolled up and pinned. This has been used, just this year alone, so many times. Surely we can come up with something better. Maybe make things a bit more personal. Don't be afraid to do backstage vignettes with other people apart from the authority. Other people are allowed in the back areas, I'm pretty sure of that. Let's just try and make things a bit different. Over this past year, apart from sort of top angles, I can't even really remember any. If I'm thinking of storylines, I can think of the Rhodes brothers' redemption when they defeated the Shield, that build up to that. Apart from that, there was the Big Show getting fired and stuff, and that made him a star for a little bit until Lesnar decided to kill his career with a chair. But for the most part, they've been really weak. And why? No wonder the roster's depth at the moment is so low, because you keep pushing people down. Give small people storylines. AJ and Paige have been trying their best, but they've been given awful storylines to do, and they've been given like 5 pay-per-views in a row. Really need to work on that, WWE. Fire your current writers, get rid of writers, get some wrestling bookers in. Get not Vince Russo. It's been hilarious hearing about his ideas for Raw, but everyone doesn't need to do a heel turn every week. But yeah, there are plenty of bookers out there you can bring in. Get wrestling people, not just movie writers that have no idea how to deal with this subject. Wrestling bookers. Number 4. The titles need to mean something. The WWE title at the moment is just, it's a thing. Well, it's not actually. The WWE title at the moment is not even a thing. We haven't even seen it since Night of Champions. There hasn't even been a word of why Brock Lesnar hasn't been around. Maybe if they'd at least put in, oh, Lesnar didn't want to face Cena again, so he's sort of gone off and refusing. WWE's trying to get him to come back. Maybe maybe a mention of Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion. The title is so meaningless it can leave for a couple of months on end. The title meant something when our champion Daniel Bryan won it. The fans want him to have it, and that was it. For Daniel Bryan, that title meant everything. For Brock Lesnar, it's just the thing. There's no sort of attachment to it. Ziggler currently with the Intercontinental Champion, him with that title means something. And the fact I really like it at the moment, he's in the main event angle, Team Cena, that's your Intercontinental Champion. That is the title should always be, whether the storyline's about the title or not, but the person with the title should always be involved in storylines. Ziggler being involved in this main event angle, being the Intercontinental Champion, is really good for the title. Earlier before that, him and The Miz just chucking the title back between them, that wasn't good for it. Always have a good storyline, especially for your Intercontinental title. Now there's no world title. It needs to be the one. This is, if someone can do a good run with this title, they should be ready to come up to the next step. US title, that should be your new guys. The guys that have been jobbers, but you see a little spark in them. The US title has meant nothing since Ambrose had it. Ambrose was just giving it so all 3 guys in the Shield could have a title. It hasn't meant anything for years. Sheamus then won it. I keep forgetting who had it. with Rusev having it, actually has a chance to mean something now. You've got a guy that has steamrolled through some of the biggest guys, literally biggest guys in WWE. Even though he's now best buddies with Mark Henry, Rusev having this title, being involved in the main event angle, again, this is a really good boost for that title. More and more things. The storyline with Rusev should be people trying to get that United States champion off him. Because, yeah, USA. That's what it should be. Free. Bringing up people from NXT or bringing them in without a purpose. The Shield guys, they did so good when you brought them up from NXT. Rusev, a little bit of a dodgy start, but he's really picked up into a solid performer now. But you dropped the ball when it comes to Emma. Emma, really good female in-ring wrestler. But you just chucked her out there with the dance without anything. Maybe you should have done some vignettes. Just have her come out and do a few matches. It takes the time for people to accustomize to her ways and her dance. But it gets over eventually. You could have done a slow build, just have her do matches. Give her some presents, and then you could have dropped her into this Santino Fandango feud. But you did that without even having a clear resolution what you wanted from that feud. So, it just didn't work. Paige is only just hanging on by the skin of her teeth because she is a damn good in-ring performer, and she's getting better and better on the mic. But you literally just... AJ was leaving for a bit, so you had to chuck the title on her. And then you just didn't give her anything. You just said, here's an opponent, just wrestle. And that's basically it. Then there's, the Paige and AJ storyline has been awful. Literally, it seems their direction was try and tease being in love, but then just hate each other. I don't think it's been that bad, purely on the talent doing well with it. The storyline has been awful. The talent have been doing their best with it. Damien Sandow is a prime example. He has been given the worst gimmick ever. But by God, he has turned it around. And he has made himself the most popular person in the mid-card currently. Mizdow is one of the most popular guys. Frankly, he had a damn good gimmick beforehand. And then they gave him this weird angle that didn't go anywhere. Again, a storyline not thought through to finish. Storylines need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Not just, how about you do this thing? And then it just dies. We really need to get more solid storylines. And we really need to get... What's the point of bringing this brand new cool star? I really love NXT. Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, phenomenal workers. But if they're going to be just chucked in and it's like, he's going to jump, and just don't bring them up until you've got something for them. They're just doing so well in NXT. They've got such hot... Okay? I'm not actually physically attracted... Okay, maybe I am. Let's cut that bit out. They've got such a little following in NXT that if you bring them up and kill them now, it's going to ruin them. Wait until you've got somewhere they slot in, and then bring them in. Think of like an opening, at least think of 3 months of storyline for them before they're up that they can then complete to fruition, and then you see how they do. If they do well in that storyline, boom. If they don't, maybe then send them back down to NXT. 2. The commentary. Commentary should be the connection between the audience and the wrestler. You wouldn't know any of these moves if it wasn't for the commentary team sort of telling you. Especially like gimmicked moves, like the Emma Sandwich, Dirty Deeds, the AA, which used to be the FU. You would not know any of this if it wasn't for the commentary team. And Jim Ross, that's what he was good at. He was good at explaining a match, telling you why a move hurt, because sometimes in wrestling, especially some of the submission holds, you don't really know what they're doing. That's why you need a commentary person to be there telling you, this is twisting the muscle, it's stretching it in this angle, causing pain here. But they don't do that. Jerry the King Lawler, as much of a legend as he is the biggest waste of space out there. I would not even notice if he didn't turn up to work ever again. Because all he adds is a sort of random joke that doesn't make sense. And that's it. He has nothing else to add to the commentary team. I love you, Jerry, you're a legend, but please, sod off. You're just no use. JBL was better, but now he's just so into getting himself over. He's got a sort of half-hearted heel commentator vibe, where he should be like bigging up, like Jerry the King Lawler used to do with JR in the good old days, when he was always shooting for the heels. And it helps to get them over. You explain backstory that doesn't actually exist, but it can give them more attachment to the audience. But they don't do that. They spend all their time joking about 9.99, joking with each other, and especially it's even more crucial in the less important matches. When Kofi Kingston and Justin Gabriel out there putting on a damn good match, the commentator team should be telling you what's going on, why they're doing it, the ring psychology behind it. Instead, they act like they don't care, so the people at home don't care. So when the people at home go to see it in the live audience, they just don't care. It all comes down to the commentary, and WWE, you are failing at that. You have to plug things, of course you do. But do it at a point when it makes sense. If you've got a guy that's involved in an angle, explain the angle then. Explain, then that attaches to this pay-per-view. If two guys are just wrestling in the ring, don't start talking about the network and other things that have no relevance to what's happening. If you can use what's happening in the ring to plug the network, fine. You've got Kofi Kingston against Justin Gabriel again, because it pops into my head. And you can say, and Kofi Kingston's hitting the SOS. If you want to see more of Kofi Kingston in action, you can check out the network, when he had an Elimination Chamber match and almost scalped his head open. But yeah, you can just plug it with the guys that are there at the moment. Give people more reason to go off and watch it, and look at the more obscure stuff. People might want to go and see, this is really good, Cruiserweight match. You can even, on the WWE Network, go check out the Cruiserweight division of years gone by, of the Hurricane and stuff. Just attach it. And the number one worst thing about WWE at the moment. Eva bloody Marie. She is a stain on this industry that millions of people love. I've done pro wrestling. I would not call myself a pro wrestler. I never made money from it. I did matches. I did get good compliments from people that are now good places in the industry. But I would not call myself a pro wrestler. And Eva Marie is not a wrestler. She's a model that is in the wrong damn place. There should not be anyone that awful on a television set. That is just a disgrace and disrespectful to anyone that has ever stepped foot in a ring, anyone that has ever tried, anyone that has ever succeeded. Her, Rosa Mendez, this is just disgusting to see it on television. I never ever want to see them ever again in a ring. You can use them, fine. Show them on Total Divas. How about you show them actually training, not just whining about their personal life. Show them actually giving a damn. They're in a position that thousands of people want in this goddamn world, and they are wasting it whining about other things when they should actually be learning to wrestle and doing something. If they don't care about the industry, get out. You don't belong here. Ugh. Seeing these people on TV has made me so angry. It's just insulting. Not only to people that have tried and people succeeded in the wrestling industry, but to the people at home. You bring a friend who's maybe just a casual wrestling fan, you show her a match, and then you show her Eva Marie and Rosa Mendez, and you make the whole product a joke. It hurts the business. No matter how many good matches, if you see one like this, it takes you out. The point of wrestling is suspended belief, and you have got to do your best to keep the audience in that mindset. As soon as you mess up or you look awful, you take them out of it, and they're like, yeah, this is fake. I know. I knew back in the day that CM Punk was not going to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But my God, there were times where I'd been pulled in and I was believing it. These two guys battling it, I thought it could go either way. You get sucked into the moment. Eva Marie, Rosa Mendez, there's a few others like Cameron is on the verge, not as bad, but still pretty bad. That they should not be on TV until they're a certain level, and they are nowhere near a level that anyone should be seeing. So, let me know in the comment section below, or on my Facebook page, which is also in like the description of this video, what you think the top worst things are, what you think about my points. Maybe you've got a different list. Feel free to tell me. Do your own video on it. If you send it here, I'll link it, also put it on my Facebook and whatnot. And until next time, like, subscribe, and TTFN.